make a little cherry pie like this. Now this is a big one. We're going to use a, where's the little thing? A beer cap bottle lid. Now I have the kind that are, my husband makes beer, so I have the kind that don't have, they're not crimped down on the side, but you can have the ones that are straight up too. Anyway, this is what it is. This one is it's a bigger one. This is American Girl size one, but the dollhouse one will be the same size. You take this and you take your beige clay and you roll it out pretty thin. You can use your pasta machine. I'm using a number 4 on the pasta machine. Oh, sweetie. And then you push it in there and just make sure it goes all around the edges.
Mom?
Yep.
Matthew, can I show you our
And take your
beets?
time with it. I'm trying to hurry because the video, but take your time.
Sure.
And it's sticking a little bit, so I'm going to use some of my chalk pastels and just rubbing it on there, the color I'm going to use. And there you go. Don't worry about the edge yet, although you do want it covered pretty well. Anyway, I have music somewhere. Oh, glowworm. Where did my beads go? Oh, here. I'm using, get that out of the way. I'm using, what size? 30 grams. I don't know what color they are. I mean, the size they are. But I just got these at Walmart in the craft section. They're no big deal. They're just little plastic ones. It's no big deal. They're just cheapos. And here's one I worked on a little bit more. Oh, and I was getting an air bubble in mine, so on the bottom. So use a needle tool if you want, or a needle, you know. And you can put some air holes in it just like you do a real pie. Like that. And then you can start pouring some beads in. And see, Catherine's my little helper, and I get things like purple beads in my cherry pie. And I think that's a piece of clay. Well, anyway, when you have kids, nothing's exactly perfect. You just gotta go with it. And then I'm gonna use my extruder. Move that to the side carefully. I put my beige clay up in my extruder, and I'm going to squish out a, oh wait, I have the wrong size, hold it. So I'm using the one with lots of tiny holes, so that way I can have a whole bunch of these. And kind of go slow because they're so little. You make them long enough, they can go all the way across the pie. That should be more than enough. Just cut them off here. Okay, and now these are going to be the lattice part, the crisscrossy part. So lay them out. So I've taken 5 of these little things and lined them up. I try to make them odd numbers because they look better. So I'm going to go 5 one way, and how many did I do that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 the other way. So here's the first 5. And what you're going to do is you're going to peel back. Oh, and I squished the end down so they stay a little better. Oopsie. You pull that back like that. Then you're going to lay it right across there. And I'm going to squish it down just a little on one end. And come back, and now the opposite ones go up. My fingers are kind of big for this because it's so tiny. Then lay another one out. My noodles got all wacky. I may have to redo this.
Mommy?
Yeah?
Here's the 2 bottle lids that I emptied out. And do you know where the purple ones are? Purple. Do you know where a container for the purple ones could be? Right in here.
There, why put them in there? And then you go over.
I think we'll need more space because there is a whole bench.
Over, and you just keep doing that for 5 across. Okay, so I have this here, and I'm going to cut off some of this excess. I have my little thing here. Come on. Be good to me. Ah! And then I'm going to drive myself crazy trying to get it on there. Whew. Oh, I need a break just for that. Alright, now I'm taking, you can use a needle or something, because fingers are just going to be way too big and sticky. Alright, move those around how you like it. And then you take the edge, like say you have a needle here, you would just go right along the edge and push it into the clay that's on the bottom, and then take off the excess and get rid of that. And do that with each of these all the way around. Let go. Okay, and now Catherine, can you just stop doing that for a few minutes, please? Thank you. So I have my little cherry pie going on here. And, yes, it is a pain in the booty. Now, I'm using some soft pastels, Reeves soft pastel set. There's, chalk pastels, not the oil, the other ones. And I'm using, for my baked bread thing, I use the one that's darker than yellow but not orange. So it's that one there. White, yellow, ugly yellow. We're using ugly yellow. And you take your paintbrush. And oopsie. No, wait. Stop. We forgot a little step here. Take a needle or something like that and go around the edges and put your little indentations in all the way around. Yeah, see how fast that was? And now you're going to color the baked bread part. And you're going to go around the edges. I'm losing beads. You have to be very, very careful on this part. You want to really load up your paintbrush, so all you have to do is just barely touch it on there, and the clay, since you just worked with it, will be nice and sticky. And any of the clays will work, but I'm using Sculpey 3 in this case, and it's really mushy and sticky, which is good depending on what you're using it for. Woo! Well, that's one way to spin it. And go around the edge. Don't try and get in all the little holes, because the part that sticks up would be the part that's the darkest anyway. So it works out perfectly. So there you have your little pie. You can see it's not the white. It's a little darker than beige, and it has the color variations. Then you pop this in the oven, and I believe Sculpey, you want me to check the temperature, don't you? You guys always do. Alright, let's get a different color. We'll read it real quick. 275 degrees for 15 minutes per 16 millimeter or 1/4 inch thickness. So I'm going to put this in the oven for 130 degrees Celsius. I'm going to put it in the oven at 75 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes in a preheated oven. Oopsie. And that should do it. Okay. Alright, here are the two pies, fresh from the oven and cooled, mostly anyway. Oopsie. Alright, this is the American Girl sized one, and this is the teeny tiny one. Here, this is clay. Let's scoot it over. And I'm going to use my favorite Triple Thick by Deco Art. Krylon is really good too. It's Triple Thick glaze. And I'm going to take my little tool here. It's a dental tool. You can use anything you want. And I am dipping it in here and getting it all on there. Now remember, I already baked this, so everything's hard. But those beads down there, and they did not melt, they're plastic, they didn't melt, and they're still very loose and they're all over the place. I'm going to be very generous with putting this stuff on. You want to make sure the glaze gets on top of the edges of the crust to make it look really shiny and pretty. And get it all down inside there, because that'll glue everything tight when solid. Then later I'll leave this overnight, and then when it'll dry completely clear and hard, solid, and you'll have a little pie. So just make sure you get all the way to the edges like that. And I see a little bead. I don't want it to pop up. It'll be opaque, or it's not perfectly clear, but it will dry perfectly crystal clear. Just wait, you'll be able to see it. If you're working on the bigger one for like American Girl, ow, the beads are not tight, like I just told you. If you're doing this, you do the exact same thing. You just drizzle in there. Oh, I have my moments. Thank you, sweetie.
You're welcome.
That would be Matthew. Since it's summertime, he gets to be here.
And I'm picking up her beads out of my ear.
Yeah, he's picking up my beads because Catherine mixed them, so he's unmixing them.
And they're going plunk like that. So that's what I'm doing.
Anyway, make sure you really go with the Triple Thick all over. Take your time with it and get it everywhere, especially on the edges, so that way it looks nice and shiny. Then let it dry overnight. And here it is, just about all dry. Ooh, can you see the shininess there?